King Jigme Khazir, known as the Asian Elvis for his slick-back coif, along with his new bride, the 21-year-old commoner-turned-queen, Jetson Pema. This is a love story in a most unusual setting, Bhutan, about the size of Iowa with a population roughly equal to El Paso, a place where there are 0 stoplights, where they just got their first escalator a month ago, and where the national animal looks like a cross between a cow, a yak, and a bear.
That's lunch.
At 31, King Jigme Khazir is the youngest king in the world. He went to college in the Boston area and is a huge Celtics fan. He was coronated in 2008 when his father, a man who has 4 wives, all sisters, decided to step down. After several years of national hand-wringing about the king's persistent bachelorhood, he announced that he'd finally chosen a wife.
And I wish you all the best.
A 21-year-old student, the daughter of an airline pilot, a lover of painting and sports. She sometimes looked a little bit overwhelmed amidst all the solemnity and pageantry, but there was one moment of real tenderness as the king placed a crown on her head and then caressed her face reassuringly. There was no kiss on the balcony like with William and Kate. They're too modest for that here. While I've been here, I've had the privilege of experiencing one of the most fascinating cultures on Earth. They only got TV here in 1999. The Bhutanese answer to American Idol is called Group Superstar. Marijuana plants grow freely all over the place here, although nobody smokes the stuff. But what Bhutan is perhaps most famous for is happiness.
If you're happy and you know it's at your feet.
Instead of measuring their economy by gross domestic product, they use something called gross national happiness.
Oh, you? Hello, sir. Dan Harris from ABC News. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One shining example of Bhutan's chipper attitude, right in the middle of his own wedding, the king surprised me by asking whether I was having a good time. Always cool under pressure, I very smoothly filmed the ground during the entire exchange. Luckily, however, a camera from Bhutan National Television was there, broadcasting the whole thing live.
Are you enjoying your stay here?
It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. First visit, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
As he moved on, continuing to work the rope line, he called me over once again.
Do you want to take a picture?
Can I?
Can you say congratulations?
Can you see?
Do you know how to say congratulations, girls?
Thank you. Thank you. Would you quickest? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And that was it, my little king and I moment. It was rather thrilling, I have to say. The royal newlyweds, after they're done celebrating with the rest of the country, they're going to have their honeymoon right here in Bhutan. And next weekend, Bianna, I'll be right back in New York with you and my man Ron Claiborne. For now, take care.
Amanda Knox's explosive letter about her life behind bars. She says she was a victim of sexual harassment during her imprisonment in Italy. And ABC's CJ Winnick is here with that story. Quite startling. Good morning to you.
It is. It seems like we're learning more and more every day. Upon her release from prison last week, we heard reports of how popular Amanda Knox was inside that facility. Well, it turns out she didn't always have an easy time. There was serious harassment to deal with, making an already frightening place that much more terrifying to the American college student.
4 years. That's how long Amanda Knox lived in this Italian prison. And only now are we learning what her life was really like there. According to broadcast reports, she said she was sexually harassed by a high-ranking prison administrator who would ask uncomfortable questions about her sexual preferences in his office alone at night.
I think the Italian courts, the first time around, practically made sure Amanda was going to be harassed in prison, since they made her sex life so much a focus of the first trial. They said constantly that she was a girl without morals.
The harassment allegedly stopped only when her attorney complained. But according to Vanity Fair writer Judy Backrack, she was also harassed by female inmates.
They didn't go to the limit. In other words, gradually Amanda Knox learned how to fend off unwanted advances from female prisoners.
Up until now, we've heard of how Amanda Knox tried to productively fill her time behind bars. exercising, cooking, learning Italian, even keeping a journal. But since her release, her father Kurt says the family has not discussed the full details of her prison life.
We had one simple focus, and that was to bring Amanda home and ensure that she was safe and feels safe, and then we'll deal with any other issues that we have to deal with later.
We're also now learning what went on inside that jury room. One of the jurors breaking his silence to Italian TV, saying he spent much of the trial trying to read the faces of Knox and her co-defendant, Raphael Sollecito. He said, "I saw the faces of those two kids and they couldn't bluff. They didn't bluff. My point of view is these kids weren't guilty."
And the family of Raphael Sollecito are now offering to help the Kircher family get to the truth about what